Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining me for another, what is going to be another amazing show this morning. Happy weekend, guys. So, if you're a regular to this community, the Omon Dede show, I say thank you for coming back. And if you're just joining us for the first time, you have a lot for us to catch you up with. So if you are ready, you know the drill. Let's go. Good morning, Toronto. Good morning, Toronto. So I am your girl, Omon Dede. Welcome to our amazing show. So if you don't have your coffee yet, you still have time to run into your drive-through if you're in your car, or if you are home, you can go to your kitchen, grab a cup of coffee or tea, whatever get you start up in your morning, whatever start your morning up. Let's do it. This is my cup of coffee. Good morning again. I am so glad to be alive. I am so glad to be here today doing what I love doing. We always say, we, last week I told you guys that we are in a celebratory spirit, especially me. This is December, this is 2020. This has been a remarkable year for so many people in different ways, stressful, pain, tears, but we always have so much to be grateful for. So this morning I am grateful that you are back with me. And Kenny, my producer, is here today. I just want to say good morning, Mr. Kenny. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? You look stunning.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. How was your weekend?
It was fabulous. Guess what? I was looking forward to your show, knowing the guest you're going to be having this week. I was really looking forward to it.
Me too. I don't want to get. I really don't want to get ahead of myself here. But since my producer, he's all fine and good this morning, and I want to send a shout out to my amazing crew that made sure I look like a you know what I mean. So shout out to all my amazing crew. Thank you guys for all that you do for me and making me all look all good and beautiful all the time. So thank you for that. In the note of saying thank you this morning, first of all, I wanted to thank all the amazing frontline workers on behalf of the GBKM TV and the Omon Dede show, to all my amazing, incredible superhero frontline workers out there. We say thank you. So we are gonna go to our social talk this morning because we have a packed show for you this morning. So I want to go to my social talk. There is a video that so many of you might have seen going around on the social media about a woman in Nigeria, to be precise, who was beaten by her husband. So I saw that video as a woman. I was disturbed when I saw that video. As a woman, as an African woman, it brought so much memory, so much emotion, so much back to my mind, that we as African women, we still go through this same old culture of violence. But I know it's not just only African tradition that empower that. But before I continue talking, I'm going to let you see the video. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about more about that video.
Hello, people. My name is Ifeoma. I'm a doctor. Um, I've been married to this man, Pius Angle of Channels Television, for 6 years. And for 6 years, I've known no peace in this marriage. It's been from one woman to another. Sleeps from one woman. Just had a baby. It was a cesarean section just about 4 weeks ago. Just because I told him to spend wisely and not spend on women so recklessly. considering that we have 4 children and these children have to be trained. That's why I got this beating. Tried to strangle me and all that. Sat on my incision and everything. The children were crying. And I was pregnant with this child.
For you guys, because it's really, to me, it's really painful to see a woman beaten that the way she was. Not just only that she was beaten, and she just had a baby. So let me ask you guys, what is the society, what are we supposed to expect from marriages these days? This has been a cultural, this has been a, a long overdue conversation, a old conversation that we've been having with ourselves. African women, we are so, sometimes we are complicit in what this, I'm trying to choose my word very carefully this morning, because I know I have been accused so many times of being, oh, you don't like men. This is not about me not loving, not liking men.
But sorry that I jump in.
Yes.
I think you're speaking from the female perspective, which is good.
Okay.
I think it's a good idea to speak from the female perspective, but we don't know if what she's saying is true. I don't know, at least. We don't know what really transpired, but one thing I can agree to is that a man, no matter what, if that is true, should not lay your hand on any woman. As a matter of fact, anybody. But when it comes to this, to be specific to this discussion, I personally will not take the angle of the man is wrong, the woman is wrong, because we're only hearing one side.
So, I like I always tell all of you out there, all our listeners, our viewers, whatever you're watching from, we are all entitled to our opinions. But when you see the wrong, you have to call it out. And we live in a world of political correctness and all that. I When I see any wrong, I point it out. I am a sister, and if I witness my sister be beaten like the way that young woman was beaten by her husband, this is not something that, oh, allegedly, because you there are so many videos of this same situation that are floating around the social media. The video of the governor of the state intervening, she came out to say, oh, forgive my husband. I understand, sister, that you have to forgive your husband for the sake of your children. I just feel that so many of our African women, we get sucked into this marriage, wrapped our head into this marriage culture of, I need to stay in my husband's house for my children. You are abused by your husband, and we are so ashamed. I have found that our African women, we are so ashamed to to voice out or cry out for help when we are abused by our loved ones, by our spouse. Why are women, why are African women, if you are African women out there, and I know that I have so many conversations this week about this video with so many African women that I know that are going through the same situation that woman went through, that told me they cannot come to TV and say, oh, I'm being abused by my husband. One thing that everybody keeps saying to me, because, oh, you know our culture, you know our my pastor said, ladies, we need to do better, if not for you, for your children's sake. Because so many women, you have daughters, they see your husband beat you in front of your daughter. You want the same cycle to continue with your own daughters? This is just my opinion. We need to get away from the culture of being ashamed or speaking out. We need to get away from the culture of not being able to stand up when we see a wrong. Why are we ashamed? We are not the victim here. We are not the abuser here. You are a victim. You need to get out of that. We need to get out of that victim mentality And start seeing ourselves that we are what everything that our maker made us to be. So on that note, I'm just going to say good luck to them. I hope that she is making the right decision by going back to that man because of her kids, she said. And I hope they are able to figure their life out. I can't be drinking coffee on my coffee in their head because of their issue. So I am wishing them the best of luck. So talking about luck this morning. This is not luck. So to all the millions of refugees, asylum seekers in Canada, there was a light this week. On Tuesday, the IRCC, the Minister of Immigration and Refugee and Citizenship, announced that the government of Canada is going to be giving so many millions of Canadian asylum seekers and frontline workers a path to residency. So if you are one of those people, next week, don't miss this show, because we are going to have a great, an intelligent lawyer. You're going to be having, you don't need to go pay anybody anymore to give you more details on what is going to be happening concerning the pathway to residency. Next week on the Omon Dede show, we are going to be having a great, amazing seasoned lawyer in Toronto here inside the Omon Dede studio, Omon Dede show. To make us understand, he's going to give us more understanding about the measure and the criteria of eligibility of you qualifying to be a resident of Canada. I personally, for one, I am really glad about this news, because I know a lot of frontline workers who in their jobs every day face some difficult situations, but because of status, they are not able to speak up for themselves. They are not able to do something about their situation they are in their job or in any situation. So I am really, really happy, and I want to say to all my amazing African, beautiful PSW out there, I don't know why we are all ashamed to say we are PSWs. For those who don't know what PSW is, it's called Personal Support Worker. And I happen to be a proud personal support worker. So if you are one of those people out there, you are amazing people. You are another superhero entirely. So thank you to all African amazing personal support worker. So I'm going to be moving on from talking about this great news that is coming into Canada. And last week, we had the opportunity to be on the red carpet in South Africa with South African Traditional Achievement Award, the SATMA. And today I have the CEO of South African Traditional Award inside the Omon Dede studio show. Don't go anywhere before I introduce her. I want to go pay my bills because it takes some money to run the show. So I am going to be telling you about the app, absolutely about the app that the GBKM family we are unveiling soon is already here. But before I tell you more of that, let's go pay our bill. We'll be right back. This is the Omon Dede show. Don't touch your remote. I'm coming back.
Yes, guys, I can't believe that we found a restaurant that satisfies all of our needs.
Yes, I can finally enjoy authentic African cuisine and service.
I enjoy the upscale decor with the VIP service.
My favorite part is the menu. Canadian, Caribbean, African food prepared by Toronto's top chef.
Are you guys for real? Where is this place?
It's Nostalgia Grill,
located at 900 Albion Road in Etobicoke, right near Albion and Islington.
Yes, guys, I can't believe that we found a restaurant that satisfies all of our needs.
Yes, I can finally enjoy authentic African cuisine and service.
I enjoy the upscale decor with the VIP service.
My favorite part is the menu. Canadian, Caribbean, African food prepared by Toronto's top chef.
Are you guys for real? Where is this place?
It's Nostalgia Grill,
located at 900 Albion Road in Etobicoke, right near Albion and Islington.
Yes, guys.
Thank you for coming back. Thank you for joining me again. And if you're still there, I hope your coffee is not cold yet or your tea is not cold yet. If you want to support the show or you want to sponsor the show, you can email us at omondede at gbkm.fm. The email is omondede at gbkm.fm. Send me an email if you want to sponsor the show. And thank you to all our amazing sponsors. Now, let me show you the app, the GBKM family we are unveiling. So, because you love your girl Omon Dede so much, you can take me anywhere. And basically take me anywhere wherever you are in your homes. Download the GBKM app on your app store. Go to your app store wherever you get your apps from. And we're going to be having it on Android soon. But on your iPhone, you can go to your app store and download the GBKM app, so you can take your girl Omon Dede everywhere you go in your homes. So now that that has been said, I'm going to be moving on to my amazing guest this morning. All the way from South Africa, she is the CEO of the South African Traditional Achievement Award, Mrs. Zandile. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Oh, is it morning in South Africa or afternoon?
Good afternoon to me.
Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you for the invite, and thank you to your viewers at home.
I know so many women today are really watching because seeing an amazing a CEO from South Africa and putting the traditional music award on the global stage, that is something that is incredible to see as a woman. So first, I don't know if you were watching when you saw the video I showed about a young woman be beaten by her husband in Nigeria. But as an African woman, you there and you are somebody that love tradition, that's somebody that promote tradition. What is that culture or tradition that you think that we as African we have to get away from?
I think first of all, it's very clear that we have a very angry society of men. Um, and it's something that is not only happening, I think, in Nigeria or in South Africa. I think it's a global thing, you know. And unfortunately, I heard you say the woman has decided to go back to the very abusive home because of the children. And that's what always happens with us as women. For some reason, we lose our mojo of being women who are able to take care of our children. I think with us, in terms of the tradition, the fact that we are about music, but it's not only about music. We are also about promoting culture, promoting the values of culture. That is respect. Respect women, respect people around you, but more than anything else is about respect. And that's what we have lost in our society of men. And I think we need to tackle it, from the grassroots. And, there's a say in English that says it's very difficult to teach an old dog new tricks. But it's at the same time with the young ones, we can still do something about it. So that, they do not grow up to be like their fathers. I think you and I, growing up, if we have seen these things happen around us, you will always swear that when I grow up, I don't want to see this situation taking place around me or my family or even the people I love. So our society of man needs help.
Absolutely. I happen to believe that the the time we are living in is
Yeah.
different from what we grew up with. I know so
Yeah.
much have changed, but it wasn't perfect then. But with the age of social media contributing to so many things that we all see today, I feel that so many people need help, but we are so ashamed as Africans. We are so ashamed sometimes to ask for help when we know we need help. There are so many men that know that they need help because of what we people say. We are Africans. We have traditions. They don't go for the help that they need. Well, I believe that everybody should empower themselves with knowledge, with education, and be bold. Say what you believe in and stand for what you believe in. That's what I always preach. But to you as a CEO of Satma Award, you have put the South African music, traditional music award in a global stage. What has
Yeah.
inspired you to be part of the award?
There's a lot that we also do in the Satma Awards,
Yeah.
and we call it, we have what we call road shows. So the track that you would have seen when I was doing that little promo, it is actually a stage track. So what we do, we take that stage track into areas where not a lot of people visit, like your rural areas, and we go and we unleash talent. But the unleashing of talent, it's actually harnessing on the culture, the heritage that as South Africans, in this case, we ought not to forget. If you look into our youth today, they have kind of gone, I will call it astray, but they've kind of swerved onto the Western culture. And that is a very dangerous thing because you don't know where it started. You just caught it from social media. Whereas what we are then saying is we are pushing, we are more preserving our culture so that it doesn't die. There's nothing as important as an individual knowing where they come from, knowing their values as a human being. In South Africa, we have about 11 languages, and that means we are very different. We've got diverse cultures, and we ought to celebrate that. And it doesn't matter how old you are, you just need to celebrate it and be proud of it. And that's exactly what we are making sure that that culture, it doesn't die through music, through poet, and through telling stories, and before in our times, probably growing up, we would hear the stories being told on television. So now we want to tell the stories. We want to be very tangible with the people and tell the African stories so that the people know where they come from.
I always don't let anybody tell your story for you. You tell
Yeah,
your story the way you know how best, because you own your own stories in
yeah.
life. And I know the pandemic has been one thing that has affected in the entertainment. So how was it different hosting the award this year than the previous year? You guys, the South African Music Award, you guys just celebrated your 15 years. So how was preparing this year different from previous year for you?
Sure. A lot happened. um, and I think at some stage, we even wondered if the event was going to even take place. Um, Satmas normally happens in the month of September. And because it's a heritage program, and therefore it celebrates heritage. The month of September in South Africa is a month of heritage, and therefore the program then, is celebrated every year in around September. We had to move the program so much because of the restrictions around COVID-19, the regulations. We were on level 5 at some stage, level 4, level 3. We never even thought that the event was actually eventually going to take place. And hence the program moved to December, which was for the very first time. A lot was very difficult this year. The Sadmas are celebrated by a lot of South Africans. There is no certain target market. If you are an African, you can enjoy the Satmas because you celebrate your identity. Therefore, it's a program that will, or rather an event that will host a minimum of less than, maybe less than 8,000, 6,000. But, and this year, we couldn't even go to 600 in terms of people invited in the show. And that on its own was very difficult. To also make sure that we keep the distance, to make sure that people sanitize, to make sure that people are wearing their masks. At some stage, people will even forget putting on their masks, and no matter how much people are told on stage at all times. And yeah, it was very different, I must say, but yeah, very interesting at the same time.
Yeah, I must say you guys did a phenomenal job still putting up the show and
Thank
making the traditional artists showcase their talent this year. I know it must have been very difficult, and you guys did a phenomenal job. But as a woman and as a South African woman, South African is one of the highest, has one of the highest rape cases we have in the whole African continent. So, what is the culture of rape in South Africa? Why is the number so high? And if there is of the women watching from South Africa right now, what do you say to them about the culture of rape in South Africa?
Um, one thing in South Africa, and I think I don't want to speak for all the South Africans, but I think I'll speak from my own point of view as Zandine Zimande, not as a CEO of Satma, because
Yeah,
I don't want to be called tomorrow.
yeah,
Um, but from my own personal view, I think as much as rape or including the domestic violence from the video that we were watching this morning, it's taken very seriously, in South Africa. And a lot of these cases, when they happen, it has actually been said that people will no longer get away with it. And then as a woman, sometimes we take things for granted and we say, because it's my lover, I actually provoked him. As women, we always blame ourselves that I have provoked him, or it's because I didn't want to do A, B, and C. Wrong is wrong,
yeah.
and rape is rape. If you say no and somebody insists on it, that is rape. And yes, I have also seen the statistics that South Africa has the highest when it
Highest,
comes to
yes, rape.
rape, and so forth. But I think the government is doing everything in their powers that they can to make sure that they put the perpetrators behind bars. And I think for me alone, it's very important that we really look into how do we assist these men? Why are they so hungry of why are they treating themselves or living like animals, And I think for me, that's one thing that we really need to look into, so that we have a safe community around us. Before, our men used to be our protectors. But today, if you see a man walking and you are coming along, you are scared because you don't know what's going to happen. So a lot really needs to happen around our men, I think, in totality, black or white.
Absolutely. And education, education, education is one weapon that you can use to fight against any mentality to people. It's not about just go. It's not just going to school and read to read or write. That's not what all education is all about. Education is just making people understand what is wrong and right, trying to open their minds to a different idea of thinking. Those that need help, mental health help, getting help. I think all those cultures of just acknowledging things in Africa continent it will go a long way, for this culture of violence, of rape, to not for us not to have the stigma. And as a CEO and as a woman that runs a business, there are so many women in Africa that are trying to get into entertainment themselves. How can we start empowering ourselves by not just sitting down and just say, okay, how do we empower so many women in Africa? What do you think the tool is for also get more women involved in, um, engineering, sound mixing, in so many different way of not just only singing and dancing alone, in various sectors of entertainment as well. Where do we start from? From your opinion, where do we start from educating a lot of women in Africa?
Yeah. I think gone are those days where people say women belong to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Which is not true. And I think that came from a bunch of people who knew what women were capable of. Women can multitask. Women can be pregnant at the same time, doing a lot of things in the house, and music is one of them. I mean, if you can think about it, music is in us. When our babies cry, we sing. When it's said there's a funeral, we sing. Sometimes you want to get your message across, you sing. And therefore, we shouldn't really let people that will say you belong to the kitchen and let them win, because that is not true. And as I was talking earlier on about the program of roadshows that we do, it is exactly to unleash talent that is out there. I mean, especially in the rural areas, I think women are more oppressed than those who have seen or are in the urban areas. And for us, it's very important that people voice out whatever they need to voice out, whether through music or through telling stories via poets. So we have a lot of those. At one stage on Satmas in 2016, the whole awards, we were celebrating women. We were only giving awards to women who did well in music. The whole show was about women. And that is when South Africa was also celebrating, around the month of August, it's Women's Month in South Africa. And it was all about just celebrating women in music. And that was another program to say more women need to come out. There are programs out there that will really see them and give them the platform that they deserve, like the Satma Awards, and we have given a lot of those today that are very big, and they've actually started with the Satmas. And I must say, I must say that we are kind of proud of giving women that platform, that they do not shut up, but they speak out through music and express whatever they need to.
I am glad that we were part of this year's Satman Award. So we're going to show you some footage of amazing interview that we did. Here it is.
This is Peter Lesejwane, and you're watching Africa Connect Online. We are here at the Satmas 2020 celebrating their 15th annual awards. Yeah, so we are here today with Dr. Nothembi. And how are you, ma'am?
Ngikhona mntazana wami, wena umuhle njani?
Siyabonga.
Mkhwebani?
Yeah, well, ma'am, and I just have to know who dressed you tonight, because you're looking stunning, lovely, amazing. I must know.
Yeah, kusho ukuthi namhlanje ngispecial kuma Satma. That's why namhlanje ngila ungibona ngimuhle ukudlule over ukuba muhle ne namhlanje ngispecial ngizokuhlala phasi phela amasatma mina ngiwakhulisile so phela from 2006 to 2006 sengimasatma manje akhulile enabuye ekhaya manje ngiyajabula. I'm very happy ukuthi namhlanje amasatma akhona la ekhaya.
And lately you received a special award. We must know as the people, what is it all about?
Yo, igama uyalisebenzela. Igama uyalisebenzela. You receive that you were working for. You just receive anything ungakasebenzi. So I'm proud of
in South African music. And I must say to you, I know that the South African Music Achievement Award, you talk about how you are using the organization is empowering the community with through economical means. How has your organization helped the community that is hosting the award?
Okay, so what we normally do is that the SATMAs for 3 years, they will go to a province. We have 9 provinces in South Africa, and every 3 years, SATMAs will go to a different province and so forth. What we then also do is that we also will send out like a spec or a promo that will say, for all those young women and men, young guys, who actually want to get some skills, they need to contact us. And we get thousands of them that will come to say, we want to be skilled in different ways of being skilled. So we will take a lot from the society or the community of that province. And we will give them skills, or they will job shadow other people, or they will work in some departments. And at the end of the day, we do give them some stipends. Although most of them will say, we want to be here just to volunteer, but we still give them stipends nevertheless. Another way of giving back to the community, we make sure that when we are in that province, we get a lot, most artists that we will be using on stage, for instance, they will be from that province. Because we are in Mpumalanga, province of Mpumalanga, where the sun rises. So we will have most of their cultural groups on stage. We will let the women around Mpumalanga to come and sell and open up vendors, places for them to come and sell. You will see crafters. I'm sure your guys that were there, they must have seen beautiful clothing. We also use the designers that will also dress, the presenters that will dress up, your trophy handlers. So we really go out in making sure that people around that province actually do it from the event itself. And that will be in 3 years. And not only just for the main awards, but also from other programs that we do, driving to the main awards.
So this year, South African Music Achievement Award was in full force, shown with culture, beautiful culture this year, as it has always been. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the performance at the South African. We all got to see this year in a full front in South Africa. We had an amazing time just watching. I know so many people that wanted to be this part of this year entertainment. They were not able to be there, and I believe that next year is going to even be bigger. If you have not been subscribing before, if you are not a fan of the South African Music Achievement Traditional Achievement Award before, next year is going to be one award you should look out to, because it's about culture, it's about celebrating who we are, it's about celebrating the little guys in the business, and we have some legends in South Africa that comes out for this award every year. So who have you been so kind of like starstruck to see as a legend in South Africa since you've been the CEO?
You know, our line is bad, so I didn't hear the question very
So
clear. I just heard you asking
who was the legend? Who was? I know that every year the legends of South African traditional music they come out for this award. Who has that legend be that came out this year that you've been so starstruck of seeing?
I must say that I was quite humbled this year. The fact that the whole award ceremony was honoring legends. So this year it was different from any other year. You know, we didn't open up to artists that will be nominated and they'll be voted for and win. But this year it was just honoring legends. I was just looking forward to be in that ambience of, you know, when you are surrounded by elderly people, there's just some spiritual thing around it. And I must say that you know, to see the likes of PJ, I don't know if you know PJ Powers, we call her Tandega. She looks very young for her age, you know, to see the likes of Steve Kekana, you know, the artist we have who's been blind since I've heard and known him, looking good, and, you know, and all these other legends, and to see the children of those other legends that couldn't make, you know, to the show, and you look at this child and like, what? These kids have grown so much, you know, just to be around them. But I think the one that took for me to see the most was Steve Kekan. I must say that he did look good.
I had so I had an amazing time just watching from where I was sitting from Toronto here. So I had an amazing time of watching. I know that next year is going to even be more bigger because it's going to be I'm hoping that the pandemic is gone by next year. We are all back to our normal lives. So we are going to play. We are in the mood to just play a lot of beautiful traditional the traditional award. Most of the performers that we had the backstage. We had the privilege of seeing some food. We have some footage that was shot in the back from the backstage of the award. So I'm going to be sharing that with you. I hope you guys are having fun already. This is the Omon Dede show. So we are going to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
I can't believe that we found a restaurant that satisfies all of our needs.
Yes, I can finally enjoy authentic African cuisine and service.
I enjoy the upscale decor with the VIP service.
My favorite part is the menu. Canadian, Caribbean, African food prepared by Toronto's top chef.
Are you guys for real? Where is this place?
It's Nostalgia Grill, located at 900 Albion Road in Etobicoke, right near Albion and Islington.
Yes, guys. I can't believe that we found a restaurant that satisfies all of our needs.
Yes, I
Thank you for coming back to the Omon Dede show. We are still here on GBKM TV. If you're just joining us, this is the Omon Dede show. And if you've been here watching us since, we've been talking to an amazing woman and a CEO of the South African Traditional Music Achievement Award, Mrs. Zandile. I hope you're still there with us. You're hanging in there with us. We were going to show you some footage that we shot from the backstage of the awards, but for some technical reasons, we couldn't show you now. But you can go to our, when we are done here, you can go to www.gbkm.tv, go to our past shows and click on the Omon Dede show. We will have some of the footage that was shot by at the backstage. So thank you for hanging in there with me. For a lot of women watching today and hearing, oh, the CEO of South African Traditional Achievement Award, what does that name mean to you? It's not about just the CEO. For you to be able, for you putting music in a global stage, for me, is an achievement on its own. And as a woman that have been behind the power of this organization, what are that responsibility mean to you?
Um, the higher you go, they say, the hotter or the colder it becomes. um, and the higher you go, more responsibilities you take.
Yeah.
Um, but I must say, I'm very grateful to the founder of Satma, Mr. Dumsane Goba, who began this journey in 2006 as a very young man from a rural area called Ndwedwe. He's more than just a businessman. He's a philanthropist, I would say, more of a philanthropist than anything else. It has always been that he wants to see people succeed. He wants to see his community go far. He wants to see even women, stepping up from out of the kitchen to being the person that I am today. And I want to thank him, who has, as a man, who has seen an opportunity in a woman and said, let me give this person, that opportunity. I could also say, also what promotes you as a person or even as a woman is your tenacity of wanting to do something. If you are passionate with your work, if you are a person who pushes hard and never gives up, dreams do come true. Um, I must say, I do operate a lot in faith. Therefore, I use my faith because faith without works is nothing. So I really thank him for that opportunity, but at the same time, it's not an easy task. There's a lot that we deal with. We deal with different people. We deal with people, some of them who aren't educated, and what they say goes or must go. So you ought to know how to speak to certain people in their different levels, whether this person is educated or whether this person is not educated. You ought to give them the same respect. And I think respect is key for us, that we do things in respect. I always say that because you are humble, it doesn't mean that you are stupid. You are humble because you are giving people respect. And if you push your brand as a young lady out there, or as anybody who is running a business, it's very important that you live by your values. It's very important that your vision and mission is out there so that people know exactly what you stand for. What you stand for as a woman, what you stand for, even those women who don't have jobs or who do not have a certain career and you're a woman in the house. Let your children, including your husband, know who you are in the house, that you stand your grounds as a woman, but you keep your respect. So yeah, I would say a lot. It really sits on respect and also just being humble. I've learned that being humble will take you far.
Absolutely. Humbleness will take you far. Just ask me. I know what passion is all about. Because passion drives you in life. If you can if you can do anything in life
Yeah.
that you love and you have passion for it and you go after it, that's what people see. That's what shines through. I know what that is. That's what drives me every day. Passion for my job, for what I love doing. Don't look at my face and say, "Oh," but I just love making sure that the African women, we are being heard, that our voice matters, that we can sit at the decision making table as well. She is
Yeah.
doing it. Mrs. Zandele, she's doing it every day by powering an organization that is that is celebrating our tradition, our culture, our way of music, our way of moving. She is doing it by just putting music out there for us to weakness and experience and love. So we just want to say thank you for joining us this morning. And if you have a message for any young girl out there that are watching this morning that want to be a pioneer on their own, that want to be a CEO of a company, or that want to get into entertainment, what would be your advice for them?
I think before I even respond to that, I don't know whether I said it to you, but you look amazingly beautiful. You look like you were at the Sadmas.
Thank you so
You're
much.
dressed in tradition.
Thank
It
you.
just
It's a
shows how
teamwork. It takes
beautiful
a
our
village.
tradition
It takes a village to get this girl
is.
working every morning.
And you know, people don't understand. And my apologies. I look with my set my head today. We are preparing for an event. Tomorrow we are preparing and working. We've been working out there. So I'm not in my attire, African attire, but you are representing me. So thank you very much. So to respond to your question, I think perseverance is number one. You shouldn't stop what you're doing. If you want to see yourself getting there, if you want to see yourself getting into that mark of that high calling, every one of us, I believe, has a purpose. We were all born for a purpose. Therefore, you should be the kind of a girl, and I always say this about women, that be that girl when you wake up, the devil must just go, yes, she's awake. Do you know why? Because he knows what you are made of. So never allow any negativity to pull you down. Never allow anyone to tell you are not worthy of anything. If you are told you are not a beautiful girl, look at yourself in the mirror every morning. Tell yourself, I'm beautiful. I can do it. I will be what I want to be. I want to be the change that I want to see, and work on it. Perseverance is the key. But most of all, again, I think what comes top before perseverance is education. Education, education, and education. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me this morning. And I am inspired by your work that you do every day. Thank you to the CEO of the South African Traditional Achievement Award, Mrs. Zandele. Thank you for joining us from South Africa this morning. And I hope you have an amazing show that you're preparing for. And in that note of saying thank you, we have an amazing, I promised you guys that every week, because we are in a celebratory mood, celebrating the end of the year 2020 that have been a difficult year for so many people, that have bring tears and joy at the same time, and that brought sisters close together, that brought families closer together, because we all got to spend time with our families more this year than any other year in history. So we're going to be giving you live performance by one of my amazing friend from South Africa, who was gracious enough to give us this rare performance of South African music and the upcoming talent in South Africa, Medi.
Ayo 6R, let me holler at you for a minute. Wow, you talking my language. These niggas' energies be average. Finessing, we don't need the cabbage. It's we can't cut money, we savage. It's party to money, this some curve. If you ain't got money, don't pull up. Come on and come out and what's the love? If you don't believe me, just look at us. Make him relax, make him relax, relax, relax. While we finesse, while we finesse, while we finesse, finesse, finesse. Back up, don't waste my time. Stay up, don't dim my shine. We only live one time. Yeah, we all like the sun on the surface, yeah.
Actually, that song was Wow Fam featuring Mendy, my good friend Chris Mark, the ED Books from South Africa. That's a new upcoming artist in South Africa. She's doing an amazing job by just giving us the South African vibe this morning. So if you're in South Africa, you know the tune to the dance already. So I'm just going to dance a little bit. A little bit. Thank you for joining us. This is the Omon Dede show. I am still your girl. Don't change the station because we run 24 hours. So same time next week, Friday, the Omon Dede show. Keep your calendar closed because we have an amazing show next week. We have crazy performances from all over Africa next week inside your Omon Dede show. Don't go anywhere. This is gbkm.tv. Your girl, Omon Dede. Thank you for joining me.
Ayo 6R, let me holler at you for a minute. Wow, you talking my language. These niggas' energies be average. Finessing, we don't need the garbage. It's big handcuff money, we savage. It's party to money, this some curve. If you ain't got money, don't pull up. Come on and come out and what's the love? If you don't believe me, just look up. Make you relax, relax. While we finesse. Back up, don't waste my time. Stay fucked, don't dim my shine. We only live one time. Yeah, we all like the sun on the surface, yeah.
You'll finally enjoy authentic African cuisine and service.
I enjoy the upscale decor with the VIP service.
My favorite part is the menu. Canadian, Caribbean, African food prepared